Hi, I'm Amy from Mere Wellness and Myofascial Release. In our video today we're going to do the belly or the abdominal release. It's my belief that whether you're an infant or whether you're an adult, you need tummy time. That means laying flat on your stomach, and it elongates this position. We are used to so much sitting in our culture that this part of our body can get really short, and we do so much sitting that we often tend to collapse, then really flattening our backs. So laying on your tummy pulls yourself into a lot better position. You need to be careful if you have old injuries or surgeries, which might cause a lot more tightness in this area. If you have any recent surgeries or injuries, you want to go really slowly, or maybe just start with some just simply laying flat and avoiding using any of the props that we're going to use today. So what you need is your 4-inch squishy ball. It's where you always want to start, and then the smaller, more dense but still kind of squishy ball. And then you may want a towel for this this particular stretch as well. So first thing we're going to do is get down and lay on our tummies. So as you get down here, and the first thing I want you to do is just notice what you're feeling, and not just your belly, but also your back in this position. And this part of your low back can feel pinchy if you're used to having a more flat back, or you slouch a lot when you are sitting or standing. So if it feels pinchy, the first thing you're going to want to do is get down and lay as flat as you can until that pinchy sensation starts to diminish. If it doesn't diminish, then what you need to do is just slowly work on a few minutes here and a few minutes there of tummy time, slowly letting your body adjust to this position of your spine. And this position actually puts your spine into a nice, more normal low back curve, and that can depend on the overall shape of your body. But if you want to know more about body alignment, go to my body alignment video, and that will give you a lot of details on where it's important to have your hips, your spine, and your rib cage when you're standing. Okay, so if you feel like you're not feeling a lot of sensation here, come up onto your elbows and see what additional stretch that puts into your belly area. The next thing you'd want to try is maybe bending your knees one at a time, or both, depending on how that feels. That's going to put more pull through here, changing the angle of the hips and creating more pull, more sensation. Again, just noticing where you're feeling the sensation, trying to soften your body, scan your body from head to toe, see what you're holding tight. Let that go and see how that feels. The next step in the stretch is taking the ball. I'm going to come back up here for a second. So we're going to place the ball anywhere under the rib cage and over the hip bones. So feel where the hip bones are, all the way down to the pubic bone under the rib cage. So anywhere in here. And I generally recommend you start on, just pick a side, either side of the belly button, and we'll go from there. So taking the ball, tucking it between you and the floor, and slowly moving your body weight onto the ball, and then noticing if the spot that you picked right off the bat, if you feel a little bit of tenderness or a little bit of tension, then slowly bringing your weight onto the ball until you feel mild to moderate sensation. You never want pain, you never want anything that makes you want to brace against it or hold your breath. So as long as you can find some tenderness and still breathe with your belly, soften your body, and you're just going to hold it here until that tenderness, or that sense of tension or tenderness, starts to dissipate or releases. And that can take up to several minutes for that to let go. Or it may not let go the first time. If it doesn't in the particular place that you are working, then move and try to find another place around it and then work back into that area. So we'll just hang out here and breathe for a little bit. And once you feel it start to dissipate, then you really have a couple options. You can either reach under and move the ball to a different spot, or you can move your body on the ball, trying to locate another spot that feels tender. Once you find that spot, then again, softening your entire body, breathing with your belly, and waiting for that to disappear. Once you have a ball in there, you can continue working your way around, up toward the rib cage, down toward the pubic bone. You can also have options to change the shape of your body by bending your knees, pushing up a little higher, or going down further, and just seeing what position gets at the tension that you have in your body. There's not a right way to move your body. The purpose is to experiment with your body and feel like what gets the areas that your body really needs. Okay, so we can, well, let me talk about this first. So if this feels like too much pressure in your belly, you have a couple different options. One is you can create more surface area on the ball by covering it with your towel. Another option is to work on a softer surface like your bed, or a thicker carpeting, or adding a second mat or a thicker exercise mat. If you want more sensation, then you might go to a more dense ball. It's also a smaller ball, so you may need to provide a little more height and then work onto the ball and experiment with that and see, found a spot, see if you can find a spot that you feel that, again, the mild to moderate sensation. Soften your body, breathe, and wait. Now, another option with the belly release, a lot of us don't breathe deeply with our diaphragm, and we have a lot of tension up high underneath the rib cage where the diaphragm is. And so another nice part of, or another option for the belly release, is to create a little height, and you can use the softer ball or the smaller ball. Create a little extra height, put the ball on the towel, and then come up closer to the rib cage, making sure you're not on the ribs, you're under the ribs, and then letting the ball sort of work its way up there. It's important to be very patient, not force into the tension. Relax your body and breathe. You can potentially spend a lot of time in the abdominal area of your body. So pairing this with a book on tape, a magazine, a TV show is absolutely fine. You can also pair this with meditation, a meditative practice, music. Either one is fine. Either one is fine. But you need to be patient and you need to take time. Okay, I've got some tension up there. This is one that I need to start doing again a little bit more. If you have any questions, you are welcome to contact me. marewellness.com is my website, or marewellness@gmail.com. Thank you.